I don't often record videos, but this topic is so dear to my heart that I was like, okay, I need to shoot a video on that. And it's all about Limbo. And I'm not talking about the dance, I'm talking about being trapped in limbo land, you know, like when you're faced with a decision. Actually, you're not faced with a decision, it's just in your head. So it's like, oh my god, you know, like, let's take relationships for example. You are in a relationship and you are freaking miserable. You are not happy anymore at all. And it's not just you both are not freaking happy anymore, right? And it's like, okay, so what do I do? Shall I stay or shall I leave? And every time you lean towards leaving the relationship and the person you are with, there's this little voice creeping in, and it's saying, what if you make a mistake? What if you leave your partner, your husband, your wife, and then wake up one day and you will freaking regret it? What if this will be the biggest mistake ever? And this voice gets even louder if you have kids, right? So because then you think like, what if just because of my decision I destroyed a family? I made the decision and now I regret it. It was not the right decision. And now my kids have to suffer, all right? My kids have to grow up in this blended family. You don't want to experience this regret and this awful feeling. I get it. At the same time, there's also this fear. Like, alright, so if I really leave, what if I stay alone for the rest of my freaking life? Because, you know, I'm too old already, or I have kids, or I live in this town or in this country, or my body shape is this and that, or my body shape isn't this and that. You always find a reason why you could end up alone for the rest of your life. And it's actually not you, it's actually your fear talking, and your fear will always find a freaking reason, right? So we have this little voice, this doubt, like, what if I make the wrong decision? Then you have this fear which is telling you like, listen, if you leave, you will stay alone forever. And then there's this guilt as well, right? Like the guilt that you break up a family, that your kids might, you know, grow up without both parents being together. The guilt of what will other people say actually, you know, like my friends, my family, work colleagues, people, what will they say? You know, like it feels like kind of embarrassing. So this voice is actually a little bit, you know, it's quieter than the other ones, but it's powerful. It's so powerful, and it's there when you when it gets really quiet, like when you try to go to sleep, you know, or in the morning when you wake up and it's quiet. Then you hear this voice of guilt, like, damn it, I don't want to have this guilt. Alright? Okay, so what are your options? You can stay forever in this miserable place of being in limbo, right? And this is such a miserable place. I know what I'm talking about. I've been there for 5 freaking years, right? It's like you are not in a relationship and you are not out. It's the worst place you can be because you feel trapped. You feel like, oh, it's such an awful feeling. You feel drained. You are tired all the time. Maybe some health issues started to come up, yeah? It definitely happened for me. Like, my body tried to tell me like, girl, listen, right? You need to do something, make a decision, either for the relationship or against it, but do something, because living in the state of indecision It's a horrible place. It's a horrible place. And just because you're used to it, because you've been in this place since a couple of months and even years, does not make it better. It won't make it better. So for me, you know, what woke me up was my grandma, who at the age of 75, she got cancer. God bless her soul. And she had only a few months to live. And then she decided to leave my grandpa, right? She moved out. She actually moved in with my mother. So the second reason was because she ended up being very sick. But the very, very first reason for doing that was that she finally wanted to get a life. And I don't want you to wait until you're 75. And it opened my eyes, and I was like, holy crap, I don't want to end up at the age of 75 looking back at my life and regretting actually that I didn't make a decision 20, 30, 40 years ago. A decision that completely changed my life when I walked away from a relationship that was not happy or fulfilling anymore for both of us. For both of us. It completely, this decision surprised me in so many ways I couldn't even have thought of. Because in my mind, I had all those voices, just like you. I had this guilt, like, holy crap, what will people say? Because he's a nice guy. Then I had like this voice talking to me like, holy shit, what if you make a mistake? Then I had this fear like, girl, you're already 30. It's crazy, I know, but all of our thoughts are crazy, right? So it's like, you won't find anyone else again, right? I had all those voices in my mind as well. But once I made a decision and I walked out of this relationship, walked out of this apartment we shared, you know, and left it behind, it freed my soul and my heart. I was so happy and fulfilled, and I actually proved all those voices wrong, you know, like I actually, oh my god, you know, like I met my soulmate to whom I'm now married, you know, like it was like it was not freaking true that I would stay alone for the rest of my life. And this guilt, actually there is no guilt. The only guilt you should have is to be not true to yourself. This is the only guilt you should have. But everything else, damn it, right? And this little voice, what if you make a mistake? If you think about something for years already, whatever decision you will make won't be a freaking mistake. It won't be a mistake because you free yourself and the other person. And by making a decision, it's not necessarily what I did walking away. By making a decision, it could be also be like, all right, I give my all. I forget and forgive everything that happened up to this point. And then I will make the decision. I make the choice and the decision to give us a second chance. And you won't ever talk about anything that happened in the past. You won't get triggered because you forgave yourself as well. You know, like this can be a decision as well. So whatever you do, please don't stay in limbo. It will cost you so many years you cannot get back. So many years, you know, like I just had a client a few days ago, and she was also in this limbo land, right? And we did this clarity session, and after 2 hours she was like, I know what to do, I know what to do, and I feel so confident to do it. Like she made this decision. She chose like to give her all and to stay in this relationship, right? And she was so certain, there was no doubt about it anymore. No doubt, single doubt, 100% certainty that she wants to give him another chance and forget everything that happened until to this point. And it's a new chapter. And she was so glowing and radiant and happy and confident. It was beautiful to watch, zero doubt. And the next day I woke up and read a message, and she just wrote me, holy crap, like, oh my God, thank you so much. I feel so free. I feel so happy, and I feel so lighthearted. I forgot how that feels. I love you. Thank you. You know, and I was like, yes, that is what happens if you make a decision. But what happens if you stay in this limbo land, if you stay in this place of uncertainty, in this place of indecision? It will drain the last energy, the last happiness, the last joy out of your body. It will. So if you're watching this right now, please make the decision, whatever it is. And if you want some help and support, you know where to find me. I can do the clarity session with you as well. But at least I think watching this video is maybe a reminder that we don't have infinite time on this beautiful world. And you know, sometimes it feels like this, right? Because we wake up, we go to bed. We wake up, we go to bed. And we think like this will be like this for the next 100 years. But it won't. You're losing time here. Precious, amazing time where you could feel alive, happy and joyous just by making a decision and going into this one direction, and this one direction only. There are no mistakes. There are no mistakes. The only mistake is to stay in a miserable place. Alright, I hope that inspired you to look at your situation right now and to really, really don't listen to those voices anymore and make a decision. I wish you a beautiful, amazing day.